Delighted to welcome you to King's Place to introduce this event to mark the 30th anniversary of Article 19, such a vital defender of press freedoms and human rights around the world. Congratulations on your 30 years. I've seen the great work that Article 19 supports at first hand through its collaborations with the Guardian Foundation, an independent charity attached to the Guardian, which has supported Article 19's work in Turkey since 2015. It's an initiative that started life as a way of encouraging Turkish authorities to improve access to information and is now largely focused on monitoring the trials of journalists. The jailing of 155 people on convoluted charges, such as sending subliminal messages, is truly chilling. That's why it's so important that Article 19 is trying to correct the false narrative that Turkey's judiciary is functioning and independent. All over the world, in Russia, Brazil, Bangladesh, Poland, Egypt, Mexico, China, in Malta and in many other countries, powerful interests are in the march against free speech. Journalists are undermined, attacked, even murdered. In India last week, journalist Sudip Datta Bhaumik was shot dead, allegedly on the orders of an army official. He is the third reporter to have been murdered in India this year. The Maltese journalist, Daphne Caruana Galizia, known for investigating criminal and political corruption, was murdered last month. She was blown up in her car in a country that has just recently held the presidency of the European Union. Along with 8 other editors, I wrote to the European Commission, urging them to use all the powers at their disposal to ensure that a proper independent investigation into Daphne's death takes place. But her family continues to have concerns that they won't find out the truth. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, Daphne and Sudip are among 56 journalists and media workers who have lost their lives around the world this year. At the same time, many people in power seek to sow distrust of the media and to undermine the role of public interest journalism in our societies. One thinks of Donald Trump calling the fake news media the enemy of the American people, or a British cabinet member suggesting that broadcasters should be patriotic in their reporting of Brexit. Earlier this month, I gave a speech about the past, present and future of Guardian journalism. Those of you familiar with the Guardian's history will know that the paper was founded in the wake of the 1819 Peterloo massacre, in which 11 people were killed by armed cavalry while attending a public meeting campaigning for the right to vote. John Edward Taylor was at Peterloo reporting for a weekly paper, the Manchester Gazette. And when a reporter for the Daily Times of London was arrested, Taylor was concerned that the people of the capital might not get an accurate report of the massacre. So he rushed a report onto the night coach to London, got it into the Times, and thus turned a Manchester demonstration into a national scandal. Taylor exposed the facts without hysteria. By reporting what he had witnessed, he told the stories of the powerless and held the powerful to account. 2 years later, inspired by this, he founded the Manchester Guardian. Almost 200 years have passed since the public meeting that sparked Peterloo. In the past 3 decades, since the invention of the World Wide Web in 1989, technology has dramatically changed the environment in which free expression takes place. Night coaches have been superseded by tweets. Journalists have embraced the World Wide Web and the possibilities it gives us to distribute information and stimulate debate and pursue the truth. But it has become increasingly clear that the web can also be used as a system of suppression and surveillance by states and by corporations, and as a channel for misinformation and state-sponsored propaganda. Technology has created genuinely new and exciting possibilities. But as users of digital products, our movements and our feelings are constantly monitored because surveillance is the business model of the digital age. Facebook, in particular, has become the richest and most powerful publisher in history by replacing editors with algorithms, extracting billions of dollars of digital advertising revenues, paying little revenue to journalists whose work is read on those platforms, and taking actions that undermine public life. Shattering the public sphere into millions of personalised news feeds and shifting our societies away from the open terrain of genuine debate and argument. As a result, news organisations across the world are increasingly starved of resources and facing the threat of layoffs and closures. Yet it is more important than ever that we retain our freedom to report and to investigate the powerful. And it's perhaps even more important than ever that we work with each other as well. The Guardian has always collaborated with other media organisations that share our values. We reported on the Panama Papers and Paradise Papers as part of a worldwide network of journalists. We've covered the migrant crisis at Europe's borders in partnership with media outlets from across Europe. We've worked with civil society organisations as well. In fact, we'll work with all sorts of organisations if they're doing work in the public interest. We must embrace the new ways that people are engaging in the world. As the American media scholar Ethan Zuckerman says, if news organisations can help make citizens feel powerful, like they can make effective civic change, they'll develop a strength and a loyalty they've not felt in years. In the 2.5 years since I became editor-in-chief of The Guardian, we've experienced a huge number of political and social shocks. We've seen a dramatic undermining of the business model for serious journalism. We've seen threats to the basic tenets of press freedom and freedom of speech coming not just from repressive regimes, but from the most powerful person in the world. And we are faced with what many believe is an unprecedented level of disruption to our planet, our nation states, our communities, and ourselves. So it's a searching time to be an editor, a journalist, and a citizen, but also a privilege and a crucial responsibility for all of us who are grappling with these questions. It would be easy to feel despair at this moment, but while I think that's an understandable response to the world we see around us, as journalists, I don't think it's enough. 2 weeks ago, I wrote that our duty was to help to turn this era into something better, or at least try to turn this moment to beneficial account, as the Guardian's founding manifesto proclaimed in 1821. Our duty as journalists is to use our clarity and our imagination to build hope in the societies in which we work. Our duty is to keep holding power to account and to fight for press freedom around the world. Thank you.